I'm recording this meeting, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So you wanted to see how you do from quote to invoice and purchase order to invoice, two things, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So quote to invoice, usually, multiple ways you can do. Usual way that a lot of people do is go to quote, right?
Yep.
And you just hit the quote over here. Even I have number of my customers. I can select a customer if I want to select, right? I get the customer, then I just select the customer, right? Once I select the customer, if I have the billing address pops up, this customer does not have anything much, so nothing
Yep.
popping up here. Then I go next here. Here I do have a uh, few options to choose. Shipping method, sometimes do people put it, sometimes they don't put it, so we have the option not to put it in. So this is the normally code number automatic generates over here for me. Issue date automatically generate. Expiration date if I need anything. If
Yep.
I have a only a month expired, monthly per month, this is valid. I just put my time and date there. And it talks about the currency. If you see US dollar, right, the KQ, KM, the
Yeah.
currency comes up, from the previous page. If you look around
Yeah.
here, right, you could always change the currency over here. You have to always select the default currency for this customer. So once I'm here, and let's see, I have all these, I can search for my item. I select the item, I get here my all the items. If I know some item code, right? For example, I know my item starts from D, and if I click the D is coming up over here. So this is coming from inventory, and if you have a kitting, you can also bring it from kitting if you don't have anything from the but you don't use kitting, I guess, in your do
No, I
you use?
don't even know what kidding is.
Kitting is a bundling, right?
Say it again.
It's a bundling of items. Like,
Oh, okay.
for example, you sell sometime or you do sometime some work, installation, something, and for that you have already pre-selected the 10 items and one o-ring, maybe one dozen of o-ring and blah blah blah, all those. And you
Oh,
can
okay. Yeah.
create a kitting, and so whenever you select that, all the items automatically get selected for you.
Okay.
So you don't need that. You have this one, right, from inventory. Select one item you need. You change the quantity if you have a different quantity in demand. And unit price, if you have the tax, put the tax over there. Then you just save it simply. Then you get this new code, right? I have the code. Here is, all that. Then I want to create a PDF for this code. You know, I have this PDF file now. I can open it up and I can simply, send this PDF to my, email to my customer, right?
Yep.
So, once the customer tells me that, hey, you know, here is the purchase order, right? Go ahead and, give us the sales order, whatever it is. Then whatever you go your open your code, then you say convert to the sales order, right? You have two options. You can directly invoice it, right? Convert to invoice, or you can create a sales order. If you do sales order,
Okay.
then you have a, you can package things, create the all the packing materials and all those things. So sales order. So if you come to sales order, right, click the sales order. So what happens? It will go and convert this your code to a sales order. So if you payment
Okay.
terms, you have something, you just put it there. Shipping methods, if you
Yep.
something, you put it over there. Order date is something you wanna put it in, you put it. Requested shipping date, if they have something request, is all information you can add. Or you can add
Okay.
multiple items over here if you want. Like, hey, I need the
Yep.
freight charge, UPS, for example, quantity 1, I need the $10, right? You just put it in, you save it. So it becomes your now sales order over here, right? So you can get to this sales order from clicking this cells also, sales order.
Okay.
If the code is the one that created it already there for you, always clicking here, you get back to that code that created it,
Yep.
but come back here, it's the sales order you have. So once you have the sales order, first thing you need to do is to book it. So booking sales order do couple of one thing or two things. One is you have to first book it to fulfill it, and once you book it, that means the sales order is confirmed. Once it is confirmed, then all the line item that you have over here, you will see. Let's for example inventory. If I go and if I search for line item, you see, this time I have a sales order only 18, right? If I go
Oh,
back over
okay.
here in my open and I book it, so now I have booked three more. That means 18 plus 3 becomes 21, right? So
Okay.
if I go to inventory, if I click it, becomes 21. So you have a way of saying over
Mm,
here how many items in the sales now order, not yet fulfilled, but just the order there, and how many are in
yeah.
purchase order, not delivered yet, but on the way maybe, right?
Yeah.
That's how you can track from your inventory too. So we are talking about the sales order. We went there, we opened there, it's booked. So there are two things you can do here. You saw that this item is, not in your, not much you have. If you try to fulfill it, that means, item you can see there is available a stock -1 to 0, not enough stock for you to fulfill, right? So you need to
Yeah.
buy it if nothing is coming up in the nothing in purchase now. You have to buy. To buy it, you can always click the purchase over here. If you see your top purchase,
Okay.
you can add PO, right? So your vendors are selected over here, Sony over here. Let's say I am buying this from this vendor, right? And it has the pretty much if your vendor address is not there, it's not there, it's not showing it. So my billing address, my shipping address, all these things there, go to next. Then it goes and brings these things for me. UPS stuff, I don't need it, I remove it. This thing is coming up, quantity 3. This price is coming up now from my purchase cost, purchase price, right? Automatically brings this price for me,
Okay.
right? And this all thing is set it up for me at this point, $45. And I go and I say cost center, if you have any, C01 or C02, C03 cost center I have to assign for the budgeting purpose. I do payment term,
Hmm.
it's just the shipping methods. If I prefer shipping method to let them know my supplier, I do that here.
Okay.
And I save it. Once I save it, then I have the purchase order over here, right? If I look
Hmm.
around, it's already linked to the sales order over here.
Okay.
So it's it. So if you click there, you can get
Yep.
back
No.
to
Yep.
your sales order over here, right? Sales order here. So if you
Yep.
come back, you're in
Yep.
purchase. So one thing I can show you, sales order last time you open it up, right? Your sales order. If you go to purchase again, already it is also part of it. It shows you how many purchase order part of that sales order for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The easy way to one way of easy way to
Yep.
see it, right? If you open a sales order and if you click the purchase, you can create add a new purchase for that sales order, or you can see the existing one, whatever you had. So
Yep.
let's go to purchase order again. And if you see over here, this is the purchase order. I just created a drop mode requested by me. Sales is the sales order. Sales order is in the book mode is the customer. So you have everything in one line information,
Perfect.
right? So you click on purchase now. First thing you need to do is approve it. So purchase order, once you approve, what happened? That's this item here, right? And let's go to the what's called inventory again. And if you look around, purchase now I have 0, right? So
Mhm.
I wanna buy more than, probably uh, more quantity I wanna buy. So probably available
Mhm.
120 or 140 or 200 quantity I wanna buy, for example. So let's go purchase again. In here, before approving it, I saw there's a, I want to buy more. I go and edit and go next, and then set the quantity 3. I said 200 quantity, buy this thing in one shot for me. So I save it, right? So I come back to my purchase order, then I approve it. So once I approve it, if I go around over here, now if I inventory and check my inventory, if you see, I have a purchase order coming up 200,
Yeah.
right? So now let's go back to purchase first to open it up. This, for example, this purchase is delivered today. Is on my, my home now. Thus, let me receive it. I go here, right, receive, and I see receive, and how many they are received. For all 200 got received. Okay, all 200 got received. So which inventory received? I have only one inventory set up here. You can have a multiple here if you want. Set it up, and you should save it. So that means you have saved your, you know, receivable quantity 0, nothing to receive at this point. So go back. It says, 200 quantities received, 3,000 price, blah, 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 everything is done. If I go back to inventory, right, and if I click it, if you see PO now 0, right, nothing left in PO. So all 200 received, there are some minuses. Because of the minuses, it is becoming a minus in
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that happened. Now, if you go to the purchase over here, we just did a purchase this one P001139. So it created a bill for us. If you go click here in P001139, a bill is created for $3,000 for this vendor, right? So if
Mhm.
you open this up, there is a bill, right, ready to be, edit. So what happens most of the times when vendors creates the when vendors sends you the item, they will also send you, for example, a PDF file as a invoice, their invoice, right? So you can edit it and reconcile your invoice to their invoice so that it reflects the same amount, right? Once it reflects the same
Yep.
amount, just to go edit and and add or remove things or percentage here and there, adjust the amount and make it a same amount. And you go back, then you can simply approve this invoice, this bill, right?
Yeah.
So you say enter the invoice number, it says, since invoice number it requires customer invoice number, vendor invoice number. This is the vendor invoice number so that you can track it later on,
Yep.
and you open it up, then you approve it. So this is the invoice bill, right? Now you can pay
Yep.
this bill to your customer. But you may say, what I do with this invoice paper or PDF file I received? You go to the purchase order, you go click over here, then you say, attach a file, right? And you choose the PDF file invoice that you received from your customer, right? And for example, this is my PDF file that I received, and I open it and I upload. It shows their invoice. This is for example, this is the
Mhm.
invoice I received from my customer, from my vendor for this purchase order. So you
Yep.
have a record for you. You don't have to keep in track on your own computer or anything like that. You have a record here. You have the bill here now. So this is the bill you can sync in your QuickBooks and pay from there, right? So
Yep.
this becomes your what's called uh, purchasing. You purchase it, you bill it. Now, if you look around, this is the purchases Purchase you did, you received the item, you have the items now. Sales order is still in the book status, right? It's not yet fulfilled. So let's open the sales order. And here also you can see if you click the purchase, right, it tells you it is already received status over here. So same purchase order
Yep.
there. So now it's the time for you to fulfill this sales order. You click on the sales order fulfillment. Then over here, 3 items you want a remaining order. Available is stock 80. Your order is 3. You do 3 fulfillment. For example, you also fulfill your UPS items because you have to, you know, you have to do the say, charge them. You need to save and ship. You click that. So when you do save and ship here, you do have to do pick and you have to do pack. If you have any tracking number ID, put it in. If you don't have, no worry. Pack and you ship. Once you click the ship, then you cannot change it. Ship will generate an
Okay.
invoice for you and also deduct the quantity of this item from your inventory, right?
Okay.
You click ship, invoice is generated for you over here,
Yep.
right? And this is also inventory deducted from there. It tells you which sales order, all the informations you have over here. Now you can print it if you have to print to put it in your, I guess, what's called a package inside and print this
Yep.
item. If you don't have to do it, that's also good. But if you go to now what call delivery notes over here, these delivery notes you can see always here on the top saying that, anytime you have to go and print it out, you can always print it out. This one, you can find these delivery notes from here, right? So it tells you for which sales order this delivery note is. So
Okay.
if you go to invoice now, if you'll click on invoice, you see an invoice, the top one is this over here. This just we created SO011, and that is not the one. This is the one. Yeah, this is 3 units, and this is the one. This is the price. This is the sales text for the color and all the price. The invoice is ready. You can take this, sync this invoice and to your what's called uh, QuickBooks, and send them this invoice from QuickBooks, or you can send it from here, whatever you want to do, right?
Yep.
Whichever way.
Okay.
So this is your whole process of taking the order and buying. And sometime you may do different ways. Sometime you may first purchase. You may first go and purchase something like your purchasing manager or someone went over there and he is not even put a order, but he's sales order, but he's doing a purchasing first. For example, he went on and purchased an item, right? A item, these items, and in the 10 quantities, and for unit price $12, right? $120. That's what he has. He bought it. So once he's bought, create a purchase order, then approve it, then he sends to the customer, the vendors, right? Purchase order is ready. Then what he wants to do that, then he wants to go and create a sales order, right? Then he can simply go and create a sales order for the sake of thing. That's, for example, he created this sales order, right? This is his order is 01009. Just I'm making here a shortcut over here, right? So he opens this purchase order, then link this purchase order to that sales order, right? All sales order is display over here. Then you want to link it to that sales order. So once it links, then the purchase order has a link to this sales order,
Okay.
right? So if we go to this sales order 1109, you can, if you click the purchase, you can see this sales purchase order over here. This purchase order becoming part of this sales order,
Yep.
right? So the same process now starts. If you see this purchase order approved, this is the booked over here. Now, once you receive it, purchase order, then you go sales order, you fulfill and create the invoice. So now you are going from purchase to invoice,
Okay.
right? This is the two ways, you can drive your sales to invoice, quote to invoice, or purchase to invoice.
Yep.
Anything else on this one?
No, I think that is good.
Okay, let me stop recording.